practice, but we worked out at Carson down there quite a bit at USTA Tennis Center down there, and really bubbly personality. She's great. Yeah, she's a great. I remember Halloween one year she came dressed up like a bumblebee to work out. Yeah, so she's a very nice girl. Her mom was always around as well. Very nice family.
Have you seen her game at all? What do you think of
Yeah, I mean, she's got a lot of. She's certainly talented. She's a great athlete, and I haven't seen her play a ton of matches, but I did watch her come back and win yesterday or day before. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, 2 days before she won. She beat Tara today.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
Oh, good for her. Yeah, so I watched her first match coming back. She's a fighter.
So you haven't been tested in the first 2 matches. That's good news, but is it also that's the bad news in terms of?
I mean, I'm not gonna take it for granted. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and act like I do this every time. Go through the
Routine for you?
No, I mean, I played well at Wimbledon, but I played, I came up against good, better players than I have here in the first 2 rounds, for sure. And I was much more tested there. But I mean, I'm playing well. I mean, I'm very confident, and there's, that guy's in the second round for a reason. I mean, he won 4 matches in a row, and so he's in a position that he's never been in before, and I guess I took advantage of that.
Marty, you've talked a lot about the physical stuff, but you seem to have sort of developed sort of an inner peace from what I can see. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's just really exciting to be in the position that I'm in. Like I said, I'm not taking it for granted. I'm not acting like I've been here forever as well. I think that's pretty important. Not being satisfied with your results is something that I haven't done well in my previous years. And just being hungry to try to take advantage of every opportunity. These first 2 rounds were great opportunities for me. Kevin Anderson's a great player. He's beaten Andy Murray a couple weeks ago, relatively routinely, and so he can beat anyone, obviously. And so he'll certainly be tough, but it's another great opportunity for me to make the 4th round of the U.S. Open. So I'm able to keep a lot of it in perspective pretty good now.
Which Nebraskan are you going to root for tomorrow night?
I don't think that's a hard one, probably. Jack has got a bright future for sure, but hopefully Andy's still got a couple more years.
Thinking back when you were Jack's age and with all these young and up-and-coming players, what's some advice that you wish someone had given you at a young age?
It's tough. Take care of my body better. I took that for granted. I think just health. It's hard. I mean, look. He's a very talented player, a good player. Good player now. You just hope that they realize that they're still a long ways away from where he wants to be. I'm sure of that. He's a confident kid for sure, and you have to be. I certainly was at that age, but you got to channel that the right way as well, and you got to have some fire like he does for sure, but you got to channel it the right way too. But I think the most important thing is to keep working hard and to keep. It sounds stupid, but to try to stay on the court as much as you can, because health is you can't take that for granted, because I certainly did.
Marty, 3 years ago you played the 3rd latest ending match against Rafael. So can you explain what the differences between playing at 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. Just from conditions, ball, and also just your body clock?
Yeah, I mean, your body clock is. Look at when you're going like that, though. To be honest, you're not really thinking about what time it is. I do remember that match. I remember finishing doing my drug testing and going back to the hotel and actually packing up and going straight to the airport. We were actually home by 9 a.m. In Tampa, just because it was 3:30 in the morning when we got back to the hotel, or maybe even 4, and we just booked a flight at 6 o'clock and we went home. And so I was in bed by 9:30. That, I certainly remember that night. But yeah, I mean, I played a late match, a late start. I think I started after Rafa played in Montreal. I played Lopez this year. It was extremely late start. It's not necessarily the times when you're playing, but it's when you finish. And then, I mean, we're not 20 years old, so you can't just go to bed. You got to stretch, you got to massage, you got to eat, and by the time you get to bed, it's at just in Montreal, I got to bed at 2:30, 3 in the morning, and I have to play the next day, and you wake up, maybe you get 8 hours, but you wake up and you just feel like you're hungover almost, and it's not a good feeling. So that's probably the hardest part is trying to catch up on the sleep that you lost.
Marty,
Do you think there should be a ceiling on how late they can start a match?
That's tough. I mean, you got to, how early do you want to start then? I mean, these Grand Slam matches, they go a long time. It's tough to go out right now like Novak does. It's luckily Caroline won pretty quickly, and so, I'm sure Andy got to bed late last night, and I'm sure he didn't feel great this morning. So that's the hardest part about it.
Marty, they talk about the luck of the draw, and you come into a slam, and you sort of maybe cross your fingers, that things will roll out well for you. But with the big four, including Murray in that group with Nadal, Fed, Djokovic, you sort of know that no matter where it shakes out, you're going to probably end up having to face.
Yeah, you got to get through those guys for sure.
And of course you got Roger in your quarter, but is that just sort of that going in?
Absolutely, yeah. Those guys, it's hard to think that obviously Novak has done what he's done, and he's head and shoulders the guy that you really don't want in your draw right now. But I mean, those guys are all so they present so many problems, so many different problems, all four of them, and so yes, you have to get through one of them. Maybe you don't. That's very lucky if you get to the semis. Obviously, to win a tournament, you got to play two of those guys. Absolutely. You're not going to win a tournament without playing two of those guys. So.
Is there any part of you that wishes, that secretly hopes that somebody beats them before you, that they or not?
I mean, look, you got to get lucky too, like you said. I mean, luck is part of it as well. For someone outside that top four to win here, you got to have a little luck as well.